Rich says, I know Joe can throw a mile, but the short passing game worked well, and it did. Kind of going back to what you were saying a moment ago. And I was tracking it a little bit, man. He had a couple of throws that he wanted to have back, three in particular on one drive in the first half, but I think Joe Milton was solid. He wasn't great. He definitely wasn't bad, and you can tell the work that he's been putting in on the touch passes, making the right decisions. I thought he was overall solid yesterday.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, he threw one into coverage that safety should have picked off. He should have
Yep.
thrown an interception yesterday. Then he had the one series where he missed, Brew McCoy on a high heat. It was up and away. That was a ball way outside, just a bad throw, and then he overthrew Keaton on that ball. But he also had the deep ball that was dropped by Keaton. The ball he threw to Brew McCoy, where there should have been defensive pass interference in the end zone, in my opinion, and
Yep.
McCoy just didn't get his foot in bounds because he didn't know exactly where he was a great ball. The ball that was batted away in the end zone that was going to Dante Thornton, I'm still not convinced that Thornton ran that route exactly the right way. And I say that because the end zone was open, the middle was open there, safety had vacated. If he turns that in kind of a skinny post, there's room for Joe to really throw him open there. If that's supposed to be that straight seam there, either Joe was late with the ball or they're asking the quarterback to really drop that in a bucket to go over the DB's head and drop it in to the receiver before he steps out of the back of the end zone. That's a really hard throw there. But overall, Joe did, he did fine. I'm sure he missed some stuff, which again is what I want to ask Coach Heupel about tomorrow. But I go back to that opening fourth down throw. And everybody says, well, Joe looked like old Joe. Well, for a moment, maybe he did, but that was not an old Joe play there. His eyes were good. He read the field. Then physically, he did everything you wanted him to do. You heard Joey Halsley talk about the improvement in his mechanics, getting his feet the right way, not just relying on the arm. He really got his body in the right position to throw that ball and put it out there in front of Sampson where he's not doing a pirouette. If it's one of those deals that field was a little bit slick, if he throws it behind Sampson and he has to spin there, who's to say he doesn't fall down short of the first down marker, right? I mean, you got to lay that ball out in front and let him catch it in stride. That was a beautiful play. Now you say, well, you're just focused on one play. You're going to say he played well because of one play. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's evidence of the improvement that Joe Milton has made. But we also have to note that Joe Milton can play better. And I think Joe knows that. That's what he was indicating when he left the stadium on Saturday. It's on to the next. We got the win. That's all I'm worried about. And let's go. And so I think Joe can continue to get better. I love this play here, the highlight or the still shot that Megan just showed of Joe Milton going into the end zone. He had two receivers open. His reasoning for not throwing the football is exactly why you don't throw the football there. Don't put it in harm's way if you can walk into the end zone. That's a mature football play. You're not worried about your stats. Get it in the end zone. Take the easy route there. He could have hit two guys for a touchdown pass, but it was a walk-in for him. Take the walk-in. That's good football. That's the right thing to do as the quarterback.
It was an RPO, and not meaning, the run in RPO is not for the quarterback. It's give the football off or, throw the football. But you're on, you're inside the 10-yard line, and you can walk into the end zone. So that was a heads-up play, and he did a good job on that specific play.